Okay, so the trailer dropped, and I've been sitting here for the past 3 days just stewing, marinating in my own feelings like some kind of emotionally compromised chicken. Because look, I have opinions. I have many opinions, and I need to get them out before my brain actually combusts. Let me give you some context first. I didn't just read Harry Potter, I lived in it. I was the kid who brought a flashlight to bed because I couldn't put Goblet of Fire down. I was the kid who wrote Dumbledore's army fan theories on notebook paper during math class. I have strong, and I mean strong, opinions about whether the Marauders deserve their own prequel series. Spoiler, they absolutely do, and no one is giving it to us, and I'm fine. I'm totally fine. So when HBO announced they were rebooting the entire saga as a prestige TV series, my reaction was complicated. It wasn't excitement. It wasn't dread. It was more like when your favourite restaurant gets bought out by a new owner and they promise to keep the menu the same. Sure they will. But then the trailer came out, and now I have actual evidence to work with. So let's get into it. First, the good stuff. Because yes, there is good stuff, and I refuse to be that person who just dunks on everything without acknowledging what's working. The runtime potential here is genuinely exciting. One of my biggest frustrations with the films, and I say this as someone who loves the films, is how much they had to gut. Entire subplots, entire characters. If you only ever watch the movies, you have absolutely no idea who Peeves is. You got a watered-down version of the whole Winky and SPEW storyline, and don't even get me started on what they did to Goblet of Fire's second task. A 10-year, book-by-book series has the room to breathe that a 2-hour movie simply cannot afford. That's genuinely thrilling. And Ron. My guy. My perpetually underserved, comic relief-reduced movie Ron. Book Ron is sharp. He's got this dry working-class wit that the films completely sanded off him. He goes toe-to-toe with Hermione and holds his own. If this show finally gives Ron Weasley his actual character back, I will personally forgive a lot of other sins. Now. The complicated stuff. The tone of that trailer. Okay. I get what they were going for. The contrast between the grey, suffocating mundanity of the Muggle world and the warmth of the Wizarding one. Thematically, that's smart. That's actually very true to the books. Harry's life before Hogwarts is genuinely bleak in ways the first film sort of glossed over. But the execution? It felt less like Harry Potter and more like someone described Harry Potter to a director who had only ever made dark HBO dramas. Which, to be fair, is probably exactly what happened. The Hans Zimmer-esque score sitting over everything gave me Snyder-cut flashbacks, and I was not emotionally prepared for that. John Williams' original score wasn't just music, it was a feeling. Hedwig's theme didn't just tell you this was magical, it told you it was safe to be delighted, that it was okay to be a kid again, even if you weren't one. Whatever they put in that trailer had none of that warmth, and warmth is kind of essential to Harry Potter's DNA. The casting. Let's talk about it. The kids, I'll be honest, I need more time with them. Trailers are not auditions. You can't judge a performance on 30 seconds of carefully edited footage. I'm reserving real judgment until I actually see them act in full scenes. That said, Dominic McLaughlin as Harry doesn't quite have that weight yet. That specific quality Daniel Radcliffe had where you genuinely believed this kid was carrying something enormous. But again, give him time. What I will say is that the adult casting's fascinating. John Lithgow as Dumbledore is an interesting swing. Lithgow is an incredible actor. The man made me feel things in The Crown I didn't think a TV show could do to me. But Dumbledore is a very specific kind of magic. We'll see. Papa Esidu as Snape is the conversation everyone's having, and I'm not going to pretend it isn't. Here's my honest take. Snape's physical appearance is extensively described in the books. The greasy hair, the sallow skin, the hooked nose. It's practically character design. And Alan Rickman's performance is so deeply embedded in how an entire generation hears Snape's voice in their heads that any recasting was going to be brutally difficult regardless. The combination of both factors is just a lot of noise around an actor who, for the record, is genuinely brilliant and does not deserve the uglier side of what this discourse has turned into. So where does that leave us? Honestly, cautiously, reluctantly, against my better instincts, curious. Because here's the thing about Harry Potter that no reboot can take away. The story itself is extraordinary. The bones are incredible. The world Rowling built across those 7 books is one of the most complete, internally consistent, emotionally rich pieces of fiction the 20th century produced. A TV series with real budget, real runtime, and real commitment to that source material could be something genuinely special. But it could also be a very expensive, very polished reminder that the original was lightning in a bottle. I don't know which one this is yet. And that uncertainty, after 25 years of loving this world, is a genuinely strange feeling to sit with. Drop a comment below. Are you hyped? Are you skeptical? Or are you somewhere in the complicated middle like me? Because I feel like the HP fandom right now is basically a spectrum from I've already pre-ordered the merchandise to they ruined my childhood, and very little in between. I'll see you when the next trailer drops, or when I have another breakdown, whichever comes first.